So the first thing that you need to know is sets and reps. So what are reps? What are sets? Reps are the amount of times that you do an exercise. So if you are given in a program something that looks like this, usually the format is 5 sets. This would be sets and 5 reps. Okay, so what are reps? Reps are the amount of times you do the bench press. So if you press it once, that would be 1 rep. So you gotta do 5 reps, okay, of bench press, 5 sets. So 5 sets are how many times you're actually gonna do these 5 reps. And usually there's gonna be rest in between. When we talk about reps, there's a few things that you guys need to know in order to really understand how it all works. You're gonna need to know rest times. You're gonna need to know the different rep schemes. We have 0 to 8. Okay, then we have 8 to 15, and then we have 15 plus. 0 to 8 reps is typically strength training. 8 to 15 is hypertrophy, and 15 plus is going to be our endurance. So as you can see, we got 0 to 8 reps is strength training, okay? 8 to 15 reps is going to be hypertrophy, which means to build size, okay? And then 15 plus is endurance. You want to utilize all 3 in your training. You don't want to stick to just one or the other. When it comes to weight loss, of course, you're going to block things. So like if you're trying to get stronger, you might block a strength training cycle. You might also block a muscle building cycle. And if you're an athlete, you'll block, of course, endurance-based training. But for general weight loss, for sustainable weight loss, you're going for all 3. Okay, so you want to have a little bit of strength, a little bit of hypertrophy, and a little bit of endurance in your workout program. There is another factor here, and that factor is rest. Rest is so important, okay? Now, can you imagine the differences in rest between strength training, the differences in rest times between hypertrophy and endurance? Well, they're all gonna be different, okay? And to be honest, you're gonna need to rest differently depending on how you train, right? Rest will vary depending on the reps that you're doing. It's 0 to 8 reps, but it's also 1 to 3 minutes rest, okay? When it comes to hypertrophy, we're going 8 to 15 reps. But we're only gonna rest this is going to be 15 plus reps, but this will be about 30 seconds rest. Okay, so knowing the rep schemes is really important. It's foundational. You have to know it. And when we're talking about rest, rest is important because it's gonna allow us to properly do our training, okay? So strength training, when we're strength training, obviously you're gonna be using heavy weight, okay? So the weight will be up, okay? So this is gonna be heavy weight, which means if you're only doing a few reps here, which you can see 0 to 8 reps, you're gonna need more rest time, okay? It's high weight and a lot of rest, okay? Hypertrophy, the main purpose of hypertrophy is really to build muscle. In order for us to build muscle, we need to focus on 8 to 15 reps. Okay, so 8 to 15 reps is the golden number, so about 10, 12, 15 reps you'll see in a hypertrophy program, in a bodybuilding like program, okay, and you're gonna need to rest 30 seconds to a minute 30 seconds in between sets. Now this weight is gonna be like moderate weight, okay, moderate weight, and then the rest is also gonna be moderate rest, okay? And then endurance, which is obviously 15 plus reps, this is really training a different system. You're only gonna have 30 seconds rest here. So this would be something crazy. It would be like 3 sets of 20 reps with only 30 seconds in between. You're training that endurance. And this is gonna be lightweight. So this will be light weight and low rest, okay? So strength training is high weight, high rest. Of course, you're doing lower reps, you have more rest time. Hypertrophy is going to be moderate weight, moderate reps, so 8 to 15 reps, 30 seconds, 1 minute to 30 seconds rest. And then endurance is going to be low weight and low rest. So you're really getting a good pump, you're really getting a good workout here. Remember, for weight loss, we're going to be using all three. So it's important that you guys pay attention, take notes, and you stay on track. Okay, so one of the biggest things that you're going to need also is understanding the foundations of the different rep training variables, right? So we have, of course, sets. Okay, we have sets and reps, sets by reps, right? So we went over how a hypertrophy set and rep scheme looks. We went over how a strength set and rep scheme looks. We also went over how an endurance set and rep scheme looks, right? Now there are a few foundational training concepts that you're gonna need to know that people talk about in the language of training. Do you know what a superset is? Do you know what a drop set is? Do you know what a giant set is? Do you know what an AMRAP is? Okay, let's start with the easiest. The easiest is this bottom one, AMRAP. AMRAP stands for as many reps as possible. Okay, so if you see that in your program, if you see AMRAP, I have to do an AMRAP today at whatever number, whatever exercise, it means that you have to do as many reps as you possibly can. It's gonna be so important for your training, okay? AMRAP is a methodology that you can use at the end of a workout, at the end of a certain exercise, at the end of a body part that you're training. It's a great way to implement some extra frequency, which we're gonna go over all of that a little bit later, but it's a great way to end a workout. So a good finisher would be an AMRAP, as many reps as possible. The next strategy is going to be supersets. So what is a